coincidence, but
Oh, you've gone
it's gone
again.
again. No, I've put it off permanently. I don't know what
Right.
it does, but
Okay.
it might be causing the problem.
Yeah, so denoising. Right. So you can have John with added noise now. Um, so we have a World War One set, um, subtly different to the one that I have in my sets book, but a lot of similarities. I suggest here we play. I mean, there's quite a lot of tunes, and it's a complete set going back
Yeah.
to Mademoiselle Fermentier. Um, and I have a suggestion also after we've been through it a few times. But so this first tune for the English players is a good candidate for you have to decide whether you're going to you use the same finger on the same note lots of times. It doesn't work particularly well to alternate fingers. Or for those long repeats, I just hold my finger down and do a bellows waggle. Probably a mix, actually, a bellows waggle on the first bar and then alternate fingers on the second bar. Um, uh, so where should we start? We'll do. Yeah, all right. So you're just going to go to the last 4 bars up to the first time bar, and then come in from the beginning. So the first tune has internal repeats, and it then goes on to "It's a Long Way to Tipperary," which is played twice. Again, first, second time bars, and then on to "Pack Up Your Troubles." So we might do those first 3 tunes and then stop, and then we'll do the remaining ones, and then we'll put the whole lot together. Um, so not too fast to start. Here goes with. Moving on. Repeats. Repeat. just stop there for the moment and check up on people. I'm just going to stop sharing so I can see. I can see people's faces, and you can unmute and comment. So, firstly, was my volume was all right, and Zoom wasn't getting in the way, so you could hear it okay. Good. Secondly, was the speed all right? Perhaps that was slightly faster than I intended for a first time through, but are there any particular bits that people would like to go through again before we move on? No, shakings of head there. Right, okay, we'll go back to right, so you're going to get the last 4 bars of the last two we were playing, and then we're going on to keep the home fires burning. So we're moving into from the key of D to the key of G for these later ones. So. Sorry. Yes, I was cheating slightly there at the end. As John has written this thing, the first time bar, you've got and back to the beginning. I don't know, did I do that once or twice? Anyway, never mind. The second time, you have to control your fingers. and now you've got the second time bar, and he's got you playing both halves of that. I mean, etc. etc. I was just playing the bottom note of the set, so I've gone. We could get John to unmute himself and to play both sets of notes at the same time, which I don't know whether I want to. If I unmute you, John, could you do so?
Probably, but right.
Just play the last line.
Okay.
Yes, we didn't tell you to turn original sound on.
It is on.
It is it?
I'm getting an echo.
Right, okay, that's probably because I hadn't muted myself. Right, do it again. Very good, thank you. I muted you again. Right, so should we try and fit the whole thing on the screen, which may end up a little bit small. Hold on a minute. See if we can get if that disappears for a moment. You are screen sharing. I know I'm screen sharing. I want that thing to go away. Why is it not? Oh, it has done finally. Right, so it does just fit on my screen effectively there. So let's try, and if you've got paper copies, you may be better working from those. But right, so all the way through as writ. Intro of last 4 bars up to the first time bar. Repeat. Rosemary finished at the same point and is happy about it. Right, okay, let's just stop sharing so we can actually see people there again for a moment. So generally that worked all right. Yes. Yes, Rosemary's nodding and various other people are. Oh, Martin's appeared. Hello. Right, good. Without spending too long on this, I was having a little practice at that last night, playing them to Margaret, actually while she was in the bath, but that may be too much information. The acoustics in the bathroom are very good, so it's a good place to play the concertina. And she was trying to sing along and couldn't, and I tried to sing along and I couldn't either. Admittedly, I mean, I'm a baritone rather than a tenor. If I just put the music back again for a minute. My conclusion was, and I'm just at this point, I'm just going to wait a minute. Oh, sorry, hang on, I'm doing something wrong here. That's better. Right. I'm just going to take two tunes, probably. The two in D, say it's a long way. No, it's a long way to Tipperary and pack up your troubles. So as written there. But I can't sing at that sort of note, and I don't think most of the men marching in on their way to war would either. So Margaret's suggestion was, couldn't you play it a bit lower? So I said, well, yes, I could shift it down by a fifth quite easily. So for the English concertina players, it's quite an interesting challenge just to, you think it starts at the moment there with F sharp, G, A. If you just move your fingers one row towards yourself and instead do B, C. What are we doing? Hang on, is that right? Yes, B, C, D as the first three notes. You can then, your fingers can play exactly the same pattern as you were playing previously, with the exception of missing out the C sharp and doing a C natural. So there's only one note change. So it then goes. So it's quite an interesting challenge to look at the original music in order to see the pattern of the notes. So whether they're going up or flat or going down, but sort of ignore the absolute level of the thing and just play it one row nearer yourself. So let's just I'm just going to play through just those two tunes, and I'll try and transpose at sight down by a fifth, and we'll see what happens.
What note are you starting on?
Sorry?
What note are you starting on?
A B. B, C, D. You literally are keeping the same fingers operating all the time as you were originally. You're just operating them one row nearer yourself. I can't help the duet.
Not on a McCann duet, I'm afraid.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course you're a duet player. Whether quite what how the transmissions work in fifths for duets. So I'm going to count this in as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then come in. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. Oops. So I've had a moment of panic there that I'd actually started the wrong key. I'm going to do the same thing again. I just had a panic moment. It felt far too natural, and I don't think it should be that easy. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. Lovely, yeah. Yes, not at all perfect, that one, but I did better in the bathroom. How many people sort of managed to transpose at sight and stay similar to what I was doing? Yeah, and it's a good practice, you know, because if you go along to a pub session and they start a tune, they don't always start it in the key that you expect it to be in. So having a tune in your head and being in essence able to play it by ear, or play it by ear, is the best possibility. And I'd have probably done better actually there if I'd have closed my eyes and once I'd got started, closed my eyes and just played it by ear. But I thought the experiment of trying to follow the music while playing a fifth below, certainly on an English concertina, is quite logical. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that into the mix as a learning exercise. Right. Paul McCann has said he's got visitors and he's having to...
They're just arriving soon, so I'm just going to have to leave the session, I'm afraid.
That's
So
all
thanks,
right.
everybody.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you all, and see you again soon.
Yeah.
Bye, Paul.
So that was presumably that was that one. Okay. Right. So we'll move on to a part tune. So that was the Lamb's Fold Veil was the suggestion. If I do that, that's probably even that possibly. What's that? I'm just seeing what things work in the way of right. Yeah. I'm just going to find myself another footrest. I'm going to be back in a minute. It's not going far. Right, so this is a Welsh tune. It was certainly introduced to me by Mary Anna Hatter's wife, Mary Humphreys, who is very Welsh. So this is Pant Corlan ar Wyn Let Now the Harp, apparently. So let's all initially just play it through the black notes. It's a well-behaved tune generally. Let's play through the black notes, then we'll play through the red notes, and then we'll put the two together against either against me, or we have a recording, a synthesized recording of this to hear both parts together. What do we want? We want. I'll play the whole of the second line. I've got so used to my fingers being a row below, I've now gone, let's do that again. Right. And now let's all have a go at the red notes, or if you wish, you could. I can't hear you, so you could be doing anything. You could be putting black notes against them if you want, but I would suggest try and play the lower line, the red notes. So we're in 1 sharp still. I'll do the same. I'll play the whole of the second line's red notes and then in from the beginning. Rubbish. I was thrown there because I don't know whether people realised I was playing the first bar of the second system wrong. For some reason, the previous line's gone. I was thinking it went down to a low G there, which would actually harmonise perfectly well if one did, but it's not what's written. We've got. Right, so from the end of the first line, and then going on to the second part. Right, I think we might at this point try doing the. So somebody said something in the chat. What? Oh, all right. Yes, that's a comment about the playing things in on different bonds. Right. So I don't know whether do we want to play it against me or do we want to play it against the computer? I'll tell you what. I'll play the top line, the black notes, and you can all try playing the second line against them. As that's the thing. You just get 2 bars intro, and then I'm going to just play it through once with me playing the black notes. Says. if I stop sharing that for a moment and I go off and find this one. Non-sold mail, 2 parts. So then I want to share both groove music and Lumsfeld Vale. Right, so oh, that's interesting. I might need to move some things around here. That's what I can do. I can do that. I could pull that over that side. Right, okay. So just so that you wait a minute, I've just remembered that I've forgotten something. When I share, as well as saying I have to toggle on share sound, otherwise you'll only hear it through the microphone. Right, let's try that again. Right, so that one's going there. So that's that. It's a little on the quiet side. I did amplify some of the later ones, but this one I think is original John, and his synthesized ones tend to be a bit quiet. So you may need to turn your volume up compared with me. So I'm just going to say 1, 1, 2, 3 and press the button, and you should hear both parts. I think it plays through the whole tune twice. I'm not sure, but we'll soon find out. And then I won't be playing, because otherwise I think I would get in the way. So 1, 2, 3. Right, so did that work? Could you hear both parts and you were able to play along with it? It's fractionally faster than I took it originally, but I think it's sort of, I say it's a well-behaved tune in general, so it you can do you want to do that once more, and then we might move on to something else. Right, so same thing again. So I need that there. So I'll 1, 2, 3 and then press the button. I pressed the button a bit early the last time. 1, 2, 3. Oh. So the sheep are safely folded in the vale, I think now. I always did think there was some poem about the sheep being folded on the stubble, and I did think it was a very uncomfortable thing to do to sheep, to fold them on the stubble. But presumably the sheep didn't mind. They're well insulated, as sheep. Right, so moving on. Do tell me, do interrupt and tell me if there are things you think, can we redo this bit again? I'm quite happy to go over stuff, but for the moment, let's go back to close that. And in fact, we'll close the World War One thing. So the next one is The Road to the North, which is an Alistair Anderson tune. And it does have a few naturals and things that get in the way. We won't do it quite that fast. Excuse me. I did in my back last night, turning over in bed. Bed's the dangerous things. Yes, I think I turned the top off of my body and didn't turn my legs and twisted my spine, so I pulled a muscle somewhere. Right, so right, I'll play the whole of the last line as intro, and then we'll come in from the beginning, playing just the black notes originally. Do it again. So that's the tune. I think it should probably be slightly brisker than that, but not a lot, I think. Right, so let's do the same to the red notes, which have, again, they keep alternating between C naturals and C sharps, so you have to watch out for. I'll just count this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Messed that up. Right, I messed up that line. Let's try that line again. So this is the third system. I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4 and then come in and see if I do it any better. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, well, I'm not good on that one. I'd like to do that B part again and see if I can do it right. Because I suspect if I'm getting it wrong, at least some other people will be. I can't hear you, of course, so I've no idea whether you're playing it perfectly or not. If you're all playing it perfectly, then tell me, but you can't hear the others either, can you? Right. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and come in for the beginning of the B part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. Yes, that was more or less right, I think. Right, so let's try doing the same thing as I did with the other one. Let's get rid of the sheet. Road to the north. It's 120. Yes, well, it's not very different speed to I had it. It's slightly faster, but not a lot. So let's get rid of that. Share screen, share sound, share music and notes. Yes, I know that participants can see my application. Go away, thank you. So I'm just going to go I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 and press the button and we'll see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. back. So I think we'll do that once more, just as is. Moment. I don't know. I haven't given you the option of playing one of them against me. I might do that afterwards. Anyway, we'll do the same thing again here for the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, yes, it occurred to me that I could turn off my microphone and then play along with it, which is what I did. So let's stop sharing, then I can see people. So it's very difficult doing this without feedback. I've no idea whether people were found it trivially easy or really rather difficult.
Not trivially easy.
Sorry?
Not trivially easy.
Not trivially easy. No, I agree. I'd be surprised if you all found it trivially easy.
Some of the runs are quite fast, and you've got to have those notes so really automatically under your fingers, I think.
Yeah, well, I must admit, I left it till quite late to practice. So, you know, I only sort of started practicing a bit on Friday, whereas, of course, John gave you the information about the music, you know, at least 3 weeks ago. So you've really had plenty of time to get all those notes under your fingers. Right. So would it help for me to play one of the parts and you to try the other one against it, say, so you're only hearing one rather than one and yourself rather than things? So shall I play the black notes and you do the red ones, the accompaniment? Yes, so Liz is saying yes to that. Right, so I'll play the tune and then you can just play along. If you want, you can just play the tune along with me, but the suggestion is that you play the red notes against it. Because the red notes are a bit more challenging, I think, than the tune. So it was about that speed, wasn't it? There. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll come in from the beginning. I want to know my speed. Hold on a minute. That's too fast, isn't it? That'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. Again. Yes, I was relatively brisk then, I think. So if you found that difficult, don't be surprised. Right, I'm going to stop sharing. So have we headed sufficiently far north at that point? We've
I found it difficult getting back to the A and G. found
that
it a bit
leap,
tricky getting
sudden
back
leap
there.
up.
Yes,
Yes,
that
yeah,
suddenly,
it is.
I just found it a bit tricky.
Yeah, it is. I agree. It is.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah, yeah. It's anything that has that sort of leaps in it is a bit of a challenge.
Yes.
I was
Practice.
having another go the other day at Schindler's List. You know, the theme tune to the thing with the violin solo on, and that leaps has some amazing sort of leaps and towards the end and things in it. Right. It's the point in the thing where the program says guest spot stroke around the room. So what have other people been playing in the last month? Has anybody been had a tune particularly going round in their head that they want to get out and play to us? Doesn't have to be perfect. Otherwise I'll have to twist John's arm or something. Come on, somebody's done something. Obviously not.
Nothing that we want to show.
No. Well, yes, I don't know whether I'd want to whether I'd want to show you.
Make a mess.
I'll have a go at something if you want.
Yeah, go on, Liz. Yeah, just so we hear somebody else playing other than me. So what are you going to play?
It's called the Fallowfield March.
All right.
Am I echoing?
Not very. I'll mute myself. Let me mute everybody, and then I'll unmute you. Unmute you, and then I'll mute myself. So have you got original sound on, Liz?
How do I check it now?
If you move your cursor up the top left-hand corner, it should say original sound for musicians on. Does it not say anything up there?
No.
All right, let's talk through this then. So bottom left-hand corner, the up arrow next to the mute button produces a list of things, of which the bottom one is audio settings. Yes. Yes. And then in that add. Oh no.
You muted, Liz.
Yeah. Liz is muted. Liz is muted. Are you somehow?
Right, yes, original sound is on now.
Right.
But I'm still getting an echo.
Right. Let me mute myself.
Right. Oh, that's better. Yeah. So can you hear me okay? So this was written by a concertina player from the northeast called Rob Say. I don't know whether any of you know him. But it was written during lockdown. But it's I probably won't be playing it at March speed, but it's called the Fallowfield March. But right, okay.
a few harmonies.
It's very much an earworm, that tune.
Yes, it is a catchy tune.
Morning, Peggy. Morning, Leslie.
You've muted yourself, Paul.
Muted. Right, sorry. Has anyone else got anything to offer? No, in which case we'll move on. Thank you, Liz. Otherwise it could have been a rather boring 10 minutes of silence while we had that slot. So the next thing on John's schedule is a mini theme, which was S is for Shetland. So these are largely Shetland tunes whose names start with an S. So they're all from the my main session tune book. So we're not in parts, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on any one tune. But the aim here is to run through a set of tunes relatively quickly, but not too fast individually. So if I share screen, put that up, get rid of the row to the north. The first tune on the list was St Anne's Reel. Just while I think about it, the what Liz was saying there about echoes, Zoom is quite good generally at suppressing echoes. The turning on original sound for musicians turns off the echo suppression. Now this is fine for what it's intended really, which is one person playing. Zoom doesn't get in the way of what they're playing and the rest can hear it all right. It also sort of works all right if one person has original sound on and no one else does, because any echoes they make will be suppressed in the other people's clients. But the thing where it goes wrong is what we had there for a moment, which is that she had original sound on and I had original sound on, and neither of us were muted. So under those circumstances, there's nothing to suppress the echoes, and so she ends up hearing everything she says bounce through my machine. So it's just a hint, if you're doing Zoom, you really want either just one person to have, ideally only one person to have original sound on at a time, or else everybody to be muted. Right, St Anne's Reel. Is the tune. A little bit slower first a couple of times through and then a bit faster perhaps. Find my footrest has wandered off. What do we want? Right, the last two bars of an A part as intro. Oh no, not like that. Try that again. Yes, the places I fell apart, it was when I was constantly trying to think of alternate fingerings to save moving the same finger between adjacent notes. You know, the second full bar. That one I was cross fingering quite well generally, but when I tried to do the same thing on the next bar, it all rather fell apart. I didn't get my third finger underneath well enough. But it is a good thing. It's a good tune for practicing that of not having to move the same finger from the you know, in the third full, but beginning of the third full bar. You know, if you have to move the same finger from the B to the E, you get a definite break in the sequence. Whereas if you swing your smaller finger underneath, it goes smoother. But you have to get it out of the way again afterwards, and I don't always succeed. Right, okay, let's just try that. Oh, before we do, the other one, which might take a little bit of the last bar of the third line. What am I doing? So that's odd. So the bar with a seventh other. The next note is not what you'd expect, but it's an E, and then the next bar. And then it goes back to a natural at the end of it. So it's just worth having a little twiddle on those two bars, which I think can and I had to sit there and do that for a minute or two when I first came across this to get the fingers right on that one. So should we try it again a little bit faster, but not too much so? Yeah, all right, okay. So you're going to get just the last two bars of the whole thing. Again. St Anne's Reel, quite a common tune in sessions and things. Right, so there's quite a few to get through, so we won't spend any longer on that one. Shingley Beach, it occurs to me, we do actually have a parts version, don't we? Let's for the moment find the tune. Shingley Beach. I wonder whether it would. Okay, let's just play it through as is for the moment. And in this, we do have a parts version of this, and it is nice. But for the moment, we're really just playing the tune. I think if you've got the parts version to hand on paper, then feel free to play another part against it. Right, so you're going to get as intro just a last 2 bars, and you have to think of these are waves crashing on an Atlantic shingly beach, so it's going to be fairly slow. Right, so. I'm just going to stop there because it occurred to me that I wanted to give an outing to my baritone, and this would be a nice one. So so this is the same thing, but me playing on the baritone. stop sharing so I can see people a bit. So did that work? Did the baritone come through all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And it sometimes helps when you're playing against another instrument if it's in a different pitch, because then you can hear it against your own sort of thing.
So, Paul, when you're playing on the baritone, is it the same fingering, but it's just an octave lower?
Yeah, precisely so. Yeah,
Right.
it's a bit like, pick up a whistle in a different key, or an Anglo in C or G. You're playing the same fingering patterns exactly. So the English concertina comes in of at least 4 different pitch settings, all with exactly the same 48 key layout. So the usual one is a treble. That's a baritone, which is an octave below. There are basses that are an octave below that, and there are piccolos that are an octave above a treble.
Tenor as well.
I did see a sopranino one, or whatever it was called, that was an octave above a piccolo, which was back squeak thing territory. And there is one contrabass around, isn't there? I think I've seen I think that's even an octave below a bass, but it's a single action and reduced range, I think, but one you feel rather than hear. But baritones are nice. They're just an octave below the treble pitch. Right. I like that tune. And we have a 3 or 4 part setting of it that we've done in Chiltinas before. But it works well, but you need all 3 parts really to hear it, and so it's best done with in a live session rather than a virtual one. Right, so that was Shingley Beach. With very, very similar and the same composer, we've got Das Slocket Light, which is filed under S for Slocket because dat is the. If I don't know, I'll Slocket. I've gone past it. There it is. The Fading Light. Which I might do the same thing. Too. Yeah. Right. So mute all for the moment. Just so that we're done. This is one that's often played too fast in sessions, and it's a lament for the depopulation of the Scottish Islands. The lights from the crofts have faded away. So here's the whole of a last line, and then in from the beginning. to switch instruments again and do the same thing again. Was interesting. My C sharp suddenly ceased working in both directions. So I don't know whether the pad's fallen off and got stuck or what. The trouble with having a 160-year-old instrument, it needs a bit of care and maintenance. I think that one. It'll be a fairly simple solution, I suspect. But right. Okay. So that was that one. That's like it like. Changing on to a rather different speed of tune, Spootis Kerry.
Oh, glory, don't know this one.
M-O-P. Spootis Kerry. So there's quite a few of these Shetland tunes are 20th century. Burns. So at session speed it goes that and faster, and with a driving beat to it, da da dum da 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 da. So it sort of drives it along. We'll do it a bit slower to start though. That'll do. Right, so it's not the same as it is. You're going to get the last two bars, I was going to say of an A part, but the last two bars of the whole tune are exactly the same, and a couple of notes. beginning. It's a nice tune. It's a well-behaved tune once you've got it into your fingers. And as I say, in sessions it does go quite fast. So I'll give it a run through somewhat faster and see if you can keep up. If you can't keep up, it's always a good exercise to work out where to get back in again. Beginnings of lines are good places. The way I set music out. That'll do, yes. So not lightning speed, but faster. Was everybody keeping up there?
Keep that time.
Yeah. But it can go drivingly faster. So it's a good practice because it is well behaved. The notes go where you'd expect. There's no great surprises in it, but it's still a nice tune.
It's a challenge.
It is a challenge, yes.
Yeah, it is a challenge. It's good.
Right, and then the last one on the Shetland tune is Starry Nights in Shetland. Starry Night in Shetland. What have we done with? a time. Slower to start with, and then we'll take it a bit faster after. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last 4 bars of an A part. Repeat. I think for waltzing purposes it would have to be a bit faster. That sort of speed, do you think? Right, so last 4 bars of an A part again, a bit faster. Shall we do it again? can now come back from Shetland. So yes, it was an interesting choice there. It's strange there's so many Shetland tunes starting with S, whether being alliterative or whatever. Right, well, time has got on. We've got a quarter of an hour. So let's have a go at Rowan Tree Hill to finish the programme. We're not going to have much time to get onto the reserve tunes, which is a shame. We could perhaps have done Eubanks and Brays in honour of Burns night coming up, but let's go back to this. Get rid of that for the moment. Rowan Tree Hill. Now then, how big is this? So that's on the to move that out of the way. So this is sort of, it's a nice tune in its own right, but you'd have to watch, it's got snaps, you know, where there's a quaver at the beginning of a bar, which tends to be played even shorter than a quaver, really. It's just to sort of almost lead into the next note. And as well as it's got a few grace notes in stuck in here and there. Right, let's play the black notes first, and then we'll do the red notes, and then we'll do the two together. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to get the last 4 bars, maybe a bit odd, but and a note. Right, it's another nice tune, like Armstrong tune, and this this part setting is actually, if it says arranged Eric's Hobbs, it's from the Piper's tune books, Northumberland Piper's tune books, which I recommend if you haven't got copies, are well worth buying. And I'd ask you not to distribute this this page, as it's really a copyright infringement. But except that we've for Chiltinas we did buy between us quite a few copies of the book to be able to play it. Um, right, let's see if we can do the. I don't know the red notes all that well, but we'll so I'm going to count it in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then come in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I made a mess of the last line, totally, really. Let's just try that last line again with a bit of a lead in. So I'm coming in four bars from the end of the previous line. Yes, I'm not quite sure why that grace note is attached to the note in front and whether that's significant. In theory, I suppose that means that should borrow time from the preceding note rather than borrowing time from the following note. But whether that's an artifact of the typesetting and mistake, I'm not sure. And so you can choose quite how you do that. I think it probably makes more sense really if the red penultimate bar.
Well, I've got the original in front of me here, and both sets of grace notes are attached to the penultimate bar rather than the final one.
Right.
There's slippage in the top line.
Slippage in the top line, though I'm still not very convinced that it doesn't actually make more sense to have them grace before the. But anyway, I ought to sort it out to be consistent anyway, regardless of whether I put them back. Yes, it's a matter of whether that last note wants to hit it at the start of the bar or after the grace bit. I think in my terms I would put the grace notes lead, they go in front of the note they're stealing from usually. Right. So we've got a time's getting on. If I just stop sharing for a minute and go to Rowan Tree Hill parts louder. I did amplify this one of John's because it was very quiet, and it's now quite loud, of course. But anyway, right. So this is Rowan Tree Hill. Dum, 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 dum. It's a little bit faster than I was playing, but not a lot. So share screen, share sound, share music, and dots. Bring that one over there, perhaps. That should work, I think. So I'm just going to I'll say 1 2 3 1 2 and press the button, but I've no idea how long the delay is. We'll see. 1 2 3 1 2. turn my microphone back on again. Right, was that all right? Yes, nodding going on. So I think we'll do that once more. And we may be done then, unless we do one playthrough, a bit of Burns. Right, okay, so once more through it is about to happen. So there we are. That's what's the end of the programme, and we've got 2 minutes in hand. But John presumably wants to make some announcements.
Yeah, it's just really to remind people of the future sessions we've got. We haven't got a Zoom only session next month because West Country Concertina players have got one on the 12th of February. So our next Zoom only session will be the 26th of March. We've got a session at Malden on the 5th of February, which is almost coinciding with World Concertina Day. But Paul's away, and so we won't be able to Zoom it. So it will take place in Malden. I may try and record it and see if I can make a recording available afterwards, but I can't guarantee that. The only other thing is, for the next time, which will be in March, that we have one of these Zoom only sessions. The normal thing is we'll keep the warm-up set. We normally do those for 3 or 4 sessions, but it'll be all change on the other tunes, unless somebody wants to say, I'd love to play that again, or wants to nominate something that we will play next time. So over to you if you've got any comments. You have to unmute yourselves, of course. Okay, if there aren't any special requests, then it will be down to my imagination what we play next time.
Just a comment about I can see subscriptions coming in. We've had quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 people have subscribed. If you haven't done so yet, can you do so in the fairly near future, please?
I did try.
Yeah.
Yeah, understood, Martin. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and perhaps worth saying at this point, just a slight surprise to John, perhaps, there's a possibility that I might not be able to do a Zoom session on the 26th of March. The local village swimming pool runs on a volunteer thing, and the training day. I've been a first safety officer in the past, but my qualifications have run out. So if I was to do the training day and be a first, it's the weekend of the 25th, 26th of March. I might back out and be a second safety officer, in which case I would be available that day. I'll have to let you know a bit nearer the time, because I haven't really decided. They are short of first, so maybe I should. But the problem is that if I can't do it then, it's WCCP Halsey concertinas the weekend before, and the weekend after Margaret and I are away on a walking holiday. So it's a bit awkward round there, really.
You better go.
So
You've
anyway,
talked
I'll let
yourself
you know
into
nearer
it,
the
Paul.
time. There may or may not be one of these in March. I would like there to be, but it's competing things for my time.
Mm.
Okay, I think we'll finish there. And